She said, "I make more money, so I deserve more say in our relationship." I said, "You're right." Then I stopped paying for everything I'd been covering. Her Excel spreadsheet the next week revealed the truth. I, 29 male, had been with Brooke, 27, for 3 years when she dropped that bomb during what I thought was going to be a normal Tuesday dinner. We just moved in together 6 months ago into this nice 2-bedroom apartment. Nothing fancy, but it had exposed brick walls that she fell in love with and a balcony where I could grill. Rent was $2,400 a month. "I've been thinking," she said, pushing her pad thai around her plate. "Since I make $85,000 and you only make $65,000, I should have more say in our financial decisions. It's only fair." I put down my fork. "More say how?" "Well, like where we go for vacation, what furniture we buy, which streaming services we keep. I contribute more, so my vote should count more." The thing is, she wasn't wrong about the salaries. She worked in pharmaceutical sales. I was a technical writer for a software company. But what Brooke conveniently forgot was everything else I'd been covering. "You're absolutely right," I said, taking a sip of my beer. "Your money, your rules." She looked surprised I agreed so easily. "Really? You're not going to argue?" "Nope. Starting tomorrow, we'll split everything proportionally based on income. Fair's fair." She smiled and kissed me. "I knew you'd understand. This is why we work so well together." That night, I made my own spreadsheet. See, Brooke had this weird selective memory about our finances. Yeah, she made more in salary. But here's what she always forgot. Her car? I'd been covering the insurance, $180 a month, because I got a multi-car discount through my policy. Internet bill? All me. $95 a month. Because I worked from home more. Groceries? I paid for about 80% because I did the shopping. Her gym membership? On my credit card, $120 a month from when she was between jobs 2 years ago. Streaming services? All 5 of them on my accounts, $75 a month total. Her phone? Still on my family plan, $45 a month, to save money. The next morning I started the changes. Canceled her phone line with a text, porting your number to a new carrier. "You'll need to set up your own plan by end of day." Her response was immediate. "WTF? Why? You make more money. You should have your own plan. I'm sure you'll find something better than what I had." Then I removed her car from my insurance and sent her the State Farm agent's number. Changed the Netflix, Hulu, HBO, Disney Plus, and Prime passwords. Canceled her gym membership effective immediately. By lunch, she was blowing up my phone. I was in a meeting, so I couldn't answer. When I finally checked, I had 23 texts escalating from confused to angry to threatening. That evening, she was waiting in the living room with her laptop. "What the hell is wrong with you? I couldn't watch my show at lunch, and Planet Fitness says my membership is canceled?" "Oh, I'm just implementing your new system. Since you make more, you should pay for your own things. I'll pay for 43% of joint expenses, you'll pay 57%. That's proportional to our incomes." "That's not what I meant." "Then what did you mean?" She stammered for a bit, then pulled up an Excel sheet. "Look, I made a budget. See? I pay more in rent. Actually, let me show you something." I pulled up my own spreadsheet. "Here's what I've been paying." The color drained from her face as she saw the real numbers. With everything I'd been covering, I was actually paying about $400 more per month than her, despite making $20 less. But I buy dinner sometimes. Twice last month, I have the receipts. This is financial abuse. No, this is exactly what you asked for. Proportional responsibility based on income. Update 1. Lol, so Brooke thought she could outsmart the system. First, she tried to guilt trip me. Made this whole production of cooking dinner, literally heating up Trader Joe's orange chicken and acting super sweet. "Baby, I think we both overreacted. Let's just go back to how things were." "I'm good with the new arrangement," I said, taking a bite. "This is great chicken, by the way." She slammed her fork down. "You're being petty." "I'm being proportional." "Your word, not mine." Then came the nuclear option. She called her mom Diane. Now, Diane is one of those women who thinks her daughter's farts smell like roses. Brooke put her on speaker without telling me. "I cannot believe you're financially controlling my daughter," Diane screeched. "Hi, Diane. Actually, Brooke decided she should have more control since she makes more money. I'm just respecting her wishes." By taking away her phone? By letting her pay for her own phone, like an adult. Brooke grabbed the phone and hung up. But here's where it gets good. Remember how I said Brooke was in pharmaceutical sales? Well, she had this big conference coming up. She'd been bragging about it for weeks, how she was going to network, make connections, probably get promoted. The conference was in another state. Guess who'd been paying for her TSA pre-check? Guess whose credit card had all her airline miles? Guess who'd been covering her Uber account because we shared it anyway? She came to me Thursday night, real quiet. So, about the conference. What about it? I need to book my flight. Okay? The company only reimburses after the trip. Sounds like their policy hasn't changed. She gritted her teeth. Can I borrow your credit card just for the flight? Why would I do that? You make more money than me, you should have savings. And that's when she lost it. Started screaming about how I was sabotaging her career, how I was threatened by her success, how I was a small, pathetic man who couldn't handle a strong woman. I just sat there eating my sandwich. When she was done, I said, "Are you finished? Because Jeopardy's on." She threw a coaster at me. Missed. That night, she must have called every friend she had. I know because suddenly my Instagram was full of DMs from her girls calling me toxic and manipulative. Her best friend Kendall even sent me a voice message saying I was literally abusing Brooke. I responded to each one with the same message. She makes $20 more than me. She decided she should have more financial control. I agreed. How is that abuse? Only one responded, her friend Jessa. Wait, she makes more than you? She told us you were controlling all the money because you make twice what she does. I sent Jessa a screenshot of Brooke's own Excel sheet showing our salaries. Jessa left me on read. Update 2. So Brooke made her spreadsheet, her real spreadsheet. She presented it to me Sunday morning like she was delivering a TED Talk. Had it on her iPad, everything color-coded, even had little charts. I've been tracking everything, she announced, and look what I found. According to her calculations, when you factor in emotional labor and aesthetic contributions, she was actually contributing way more to the relationship. I'm not kidding. She had line items like interior design consulting, $500 a month for picking out throw pillows, social coordinator, $300 a month for replying to Instagram comments on our couple's photos, meal planning, $200 a month. She literally ordered takeout. Relationship maintenance, $400 a month. I have no idea. So actually, she said triumphantly, you owe me money. I laughed, actually laughed. You're billing me for imaginary services? They're not imaginary. I make our apartment a home. You bought 3 pillows from Target. It's about the aesthetic. That's when I drop my bomb. Cool. Then I'll be billing you for my services too. I pulled up my phone and started listing. IT support, $150 per hour for every time I fixed her laptop. Car maintenance, $200 a month. I took both cars for oil changes. Handyman services, $500 a month. I assembled all the furniture, hung all the pictures. Personal trainer, $100 session. She insisted I help her work out. Accounting services, $300 a month. I did both our taxes. That's ridiculous, she shrieked. More ridiculous than charging me for throw pillows? She grabbed her iPad and stormed off. But the best part, she forgot to close her spreadsheet. And when I looked closer, I saw other tabs. One was labeled Exit Strategy. I clicked on it. This woman had been planning to dump me after her promotion came through. Had it all mapped out. She'd string me along for another 2 months while I covered her expenses, get her promotion and bonus, then bounce. She even had apartment listings saved. I took photos of everything. Then I texted my landlord asking about the lease situation. Turns out, since only I had signed the lease, Brooke had forgotten to add her name, saying she'd do it later. I could give 30 days notice whenever. I started looking for my own place that day. Update 3. Brooke missed her conference. Couldn't afford the upfront cost for flights and hotel. Her company required receipts for reimbursement, and her credit cards were maxed from trying to maintain her lifestyle without my help. She'd been living paycheck to paycheck this whole time, spending everything on clothes and nights out because I covered the boring stuff. Her boss was not happy. The conference was where they were announcing the new territory assignments. She missed out on getting the region she wanted. She came home crying that night. For a second, I felt bad. Then I remembered her exit strategy spreadsheet. "This is all your fault," she sobbed. "I'm gonna get fired." "You're not gonna get fired. You just won't get promoted." "How would you know?" "Because you're good at your job. You're just terrible with money." She tried to cuddle up to me. "Baby, please, I'm sorry about the spreadsheet thing. I was being stupid. Can we please just go back to normal? Define normal. You know, how things were. Where I pay for everything while you plan to dump me." She froze. "What?" "I saw your exit strategy tab." The silence was loud. That was just theoretical. Like, everyone has those thoughts sometimes. Everyone plans their breakup down to the moving company they'll use. She started crying again. But these weren't sad tears. These were angry tears. "You went through my private stuff. You left it open on our shared iPad. That's still an invasion of privacy. Like you telling your friends I'm financially abusing you when you make more money?" She stood up. "I want you out." "Cool. I already gave notice. I move out in 2 weeks." "What?" "Yeah, found a nice studio closer to my office. Rent's only $1,400. Amazing what you can afford when you're not subsidizing someone else's lifestyle." The realization hit her like a truck. "Wait, the lease is in my name only." "Yeah, but where am I supposed to go?" "You make $85,000 a year. Figure it out." She tried everything over the next 2 weeks, and I mean everything. First came the love bombing. She'd wake up early to make me coffee. She used salt instead of sugar by accident one time. She'd wear the lingerie I bought her last Christmas. She even pretended to be interested in my video games. When that didn't work, she tried manipulation. Posted all these throwback photos on Instagram with captions like, "Remember when we were happy?" and "Some people give up too easily." Her mom started commenting things like, "You two are perfect together," and "Don't let pride ruin love." Then came the threats. She said she'd tell my employer I was harassing her. I showed her the security camera footage I'd saved of her throwing things at me. She threatened to sue me for illegal eviction. I showed her the lease with only my name. Finally, she tried negotiation. "What if I pay all the rent? You can live here for free." "With what money? You couldn't afford a plane ticket." "I'll get a second job. You can't even handle the first one." The day I moved out, she followed me around the apartment, wailing, not crying. Wailing, like someone had died. "You're really doing this? You're really throwing away 3 years? You threw it away when you made that spreadsheet planning to leave me." That was just fantasy. So was thinking you could treat me like a wallet. I loaded the last box into my car. She stood in the doorway, mascara running down her face. "You'll regret this. Nobody will ever love you like I do." God, I hope not. Final update. I'm writing this from my new place. It's small, but it's mine. No throw pillows, no aesthetic contributions, just my stuff exactly where I want it. So here's what happened to everyone. Brooke had to move back in with her parents. The apartment required proof of income, 3x the rent to take over the lease, and even with her salary, she couldn't swing it without a cosigner. Her dad refused because "You're 27, figure it out." She texted me last week. "Living with my parents is hell. My dad makes me pay rent, and my mom won't do my laundry." I didn't respond. Her friend Jessa actually reached out to apologize. Turns out, Brooke had been lying to everyone about our finances. She'd told them I was controlling, that I monitored her spending, that she had to ask permission to buy things. When Jessa found out the truth, Brooke couldn't afford to go out for Kendall's birthday and finally admitted why. She was pissed. She owes me like $500 from various times I've covered her because she said you wouldn't let her spend money. The promotion Brooke was so sure about? Went to her coworker who attended the conference. That coworker was Megan, who Brooke had shit-talked for months as being too basic for sales. Megan now makes $95,000. Brooke's mom Diane called me once. "I hope you're happy. You've ruined my daughter's life. She makes $85,000 a year and has a master's degree. If she's ruined, that's on her. She had to buy a used Honda. The horror. You're a small, petty man. And your daughter's a spoiled brat who never learned that actions have consequences. Guess we know where she gets it from." She hung up on me. But here's the kicker. Remember that exit strategy spreadsheet? Well, Brooke apparently forgot that the iPad was logged into her Google account, which meant I could see her search history. 2 days before she gave me the "I make more money" speech, she'd been Googling, How to get boyfriend to pay more bills. Financial gaslighting techniques. Making partner feel guilty about money. Why should higher earner pay more? She'd planned the whole thing. Thought she could manipulate me into feeling bad about making less, so I'd overcompensate by paying more. She played herself. Last I heard through the grapevine, she's dating some crypto bro named Qley who keeps promising he's about to moon with his NFT collection. Her Instagram is full of pictures at fancy restaurants where you can see her credit card getting declined in the reflection of his sunglasses. Meanwhile, I started seeing Amy from my cycling club. She makes her own money, pays her own bills, and when we go out, she actually offers to split the check. Wild concept, right? The first time she Venmo'd me for her half of dinner, I almost cried. She thought I was having an allergic reaction to the Thai food. No, I said, I'm just not used to dating an actual adult. She laughed. The bar is really that low? It was underground. We're planning a vacation to Colorado next month. We're splitting everything 50-50. She made her own spreadsheet to track expenses, but it's just normal. No emotional labor charges. No aesthetic contributions, just actual costs split fairly. My buddy asked if I ever regret how things ended with Brooke. Regret not paying for someone who was planning to dump me? Regret not financing the lifestyle of someone who thought I was pathetic? Regret standing up for myself when someone tried to use me as a walking ATM? I looked at my bank account. For the first time in 3 years, I actually had savings. Nah, man, best decision I ever made. Oh, and Brooke's last text to me, sent at 2 a.m. last Saturday. Corey's NFTs turned out to be a scam. Can I borrow $500? I promise I'll pay you back. I sent her a link to Indeed.com. Then I blocked her. Cool? Edit. To everyone asking how I stayed so calm, I wasn't. I was furious. But I learned long ago that the best revenge isn't getting mad. It's letting people face the consequences of their own choices. Brooke wanted financial control based on income. She got it, just not how she expected. Edit 2. For those saying I should have communicated better, I tried. For 2 years, I tried to talk about fair financial splits. She'd always say we'd figure it out later. Or that it all evens out. It only became an issue when she thought she could squeeze more out of me. Edit 3. No, I'm not taking her back. Stop DMing me that everyone deserves a second chance. She had 3 years of chances. She chose spreadsheets and manipulation instead.